I am Toby. I smoke Toby. Toby went to buy a Ryanair ticket. Toby says bye-bye. Gay ass Toby. You're probably wondering what I'm talking about. I'm God. I have a lot of names. Yeah. A lot. And I'm not talking about Lot from Sodom. Well, this is an interesting thing because what happened to Lot? Well, Lot, he escaped Sodom, didn't he? Well, I lived in Brighton for 20 years. And this is good. Well, I want to talk about Brighton a little bit here. Okay? But this is the thing. I'm God. Yeah, I made the point. I'm the Red Dragon. I'm Satan. I'm the devil. Your worst nightmare. Strange though that people haven't realized that yet. How many people have to, how many tragedies have to happen? Well, I wouldn't call it a tragedy, I'd call it justice. There we go. But that's the thing, right? I've been smoking since the age of, probably 11, 12, 13. I started smoking heavily when I was 13, 14, Try smoking 20 cigarettes a day when you're at boarding school. That will punish you for smoking. And I used to smoke probably 15 a day when I was at boarding school. So, I'm very certain I was the heaviest smoker at that school. And that's, the entire age, all of the pupils, even the pupils who were 18 years old, who were legally allowed to smoke outside of school. Anyways, hang on a second. What does it mean to buy something? What does that mean? Well, I buy tobacco. Yeah? And the word tobacco and Toby and to buy are very interesting words. Right? I smoke this. It's like a magic wand. It's fire. It's fire. And I've explained that, tobacco is connected with my anus, in a sense, in terms of magic, because 2 is the number that describes the anus, okay? In magic, 2 is talking about the anus, or if you do a shit, a poo, an excrement, yeah? That's the number 2 as well. And obviously, back, you know where your back is, right? Well, my butt is located on my back, yeah. And it looks like an O. So, 2, back, O. Now, obviously, I buy things, right? So I go somewhere to buy stuff, right? I might go to a shop to buy something. I might, go on the internet to buy something. Yeah. Toby. Yeah? That's not the name that's on my birth certificate, the name on my birth certificate is Grant. Yeah, so Grant's an interesting name as well, though, isn't it? Yeah, it's, if you give somebody something, yeah. So anytime I ever do an exchange with anybody, yeah, I might grant them something, they might grant something to me. Yeah, you see how it's easy to get confused who's Grant, yeah, or who's Toby, yeah. Very interesting that, isn't it? What did I say about demons? They lie. That's right. They lie. They twist things. Always lying through their teeth. So, I smoke Toby. Well, that's the thing, right? If you read the 3 words, all right. So I smoke Toby. That's the name for tobacco, by the way, right? That's the name for tobacco. People call it Toby or Old Toby. Yeah. That's the thing, though. If I say I smoke Toby, what are we saying? Am I saying that my name's Toby, or I'm smoking Toby? Which is it? It's easy, if I said I smoke Grant, I just put my name after I smoke. Yeah, I smoke, and my name's Grant. Yeah. Or I smoke, and my name's Toby. Well, that's the thing. When I used to have a job back in Brighton, where the rainbow is. Yeah. Bright on. Yeah. There was a guy I worked with. I had a very low opinion of the guy after leaving that place. A guy called Toby Gilday. Okay. On Facebook, he likes to call himself Toby Mags Gilday, which is really interesting. That's it's something to do with him playing online games. Mags is his handle name or whatever bullshit that is, right? Mags. Mags. Which is interesting, right? Because I've explained what an evil bitch my dead mum was, right? Ma GS. Well, GS is those are my initials, by the way. Yeah. So Ma GS. Mags. Yeah. Mags. Oh, yeah. Oh, someone played a shoot 'em up game, did they? Oh, someone wants a fucking medal, do they? Alright, Toby Mags Gilday. Gilday. Oh. So the light shineth from Toby, does it? Is that what it is? Yeah, let's talk about Toby then. So, a 6'7" bag of bones, piece of shit, called Toby Gilday. I mean, I probably would have had a higher opinion of him if it weren't for the fact that he worshipped a piece of shit called Ryan daily. Fucking 5'7", scrawny piece of shit with a mouth you wouldn't fucking believe. A real shit talker. Never met such a shit talker in my life. And the crazy thing is that his jokes, every single joke I've ever heard come out of his mouth, I couldn't even laugh because it wasn't even funny. It's like the shittest fucking comedy act I've ever seen in my life. But it's strange because people just eat out of the palm of his hand. They're like, "Oh, you're supposed to laugh, are we?" It's literally the fucking dumbest joke I've ever. You know what I mean? What kind of fucking you know what I mean? It's strange actually because I watch TV sometimes. I watch 8 out of 10 Cats or something like that. Who's that Irish guy? The bald guy, the big fuck. His sense of humor, I don't get it. I really don't. It doesn't make me laugh. It's strange that there's so many fucking shit comedians these days. I think it's because of Ryan, probably. Anyways, so Ryan, he's quite an aggressive little piece of shit, right? It's like a little chihuahua. I worked with him, so, I had a job that I was trying to keep. I didn't want to lose my job by, snapping the piece of shit in half. And that's the truth, right? I mean, he's a very cocky, arrogant little piece of shit, right? And he liked to run his mouth. I thought he was a real funny guy, He was always just going all the fucking time, and just making stupid fucking jokes. I mean, he used to call me Grantzilla. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not exactly funny. Do you know what I mean? What do you know what I mean? It's like, how am I supposed to take offense from it or something? You know what I mean? Like, whatever. I mean, that's an interesting name. Why would you call me Grantzilla, do you think? It's an interesting name, actually. I kind of like it. Strangely enough. Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I never got in a fight with him. Well, because I probably would have lost my job otherwise. So I didn't. And then there was Toby. And Toby, well, he was 6'7", but, I mean, even he admitted he was just he was just a tall, lanky piece of shit, right? Do you know what I mean? A lamppost, basically, right? Anyways, whatever. You know what I mean? I don't go around getting in fights with people. But those two guys, they actually got pretty close, actually, because that's the thing. We used to drink together after, because when everyone would go for a drink after work, well, after a couple of beers, do you know what I mean? Like, pushing my buttons is not a fucking good idea, right? Because by that point, if you piss me off that much, who knows what the fuck I'm gonna fucking do? Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't even fucking know. But anyway, and the thing about Toby was that he was a real brown noser. Yeah, he was like, I've never met, so I've never, he's one of those people where he wants to be friendly with everybody. He wants to be in everybody's pocket. He wants to gossip and gossip and gossip. I mean, I've never met a guy who gossips so much. Like, he makes women look like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, fuck, that guy can gossip. He's talking to everybody about everything all at once. Don't tell him anything, ever. He's that guy. He's the guy you think, actually, you know what? I'm not going to tell him anything, because if you tell him anything, the entire fucking world will find out about it. Because the backstabbing piece of shit is what he is, right? Toby Gilday, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, what happened after? It was around that time. There's a story about a woman who. I used to, there was a point where I kind of cared about her, right? Especially when she got involved with a guy who was ex-army guy, right? He fought in Afghanistan, and he was having an affair, and he was fucking her at work, and I was very unhappy about it, and everyone was giving him a pat on the back about it. They were like, oh, look at you, aren't you such a fucking great guy? Just give you a fucking promotion, you piece of garbage. Not to mention, he's with his second wife. He had 2 kids with his first wife, 2 daughters with his first wife, and then he had 2 daughters with his second wife, and one of his daughters is in a wheelchair. Yeah, that's the kind of guy we're talking about here, right? A real narcissistic psychopath, yeah? A real piece of shit guy. And, that's the thing. He wasn't anything special in terms of work. But, he was he was friends with, he made friends. He would hang around the office bosses, yeah, in order to climb that ladder, right? There were quite a few guys who tried doing that. I would never do that. I thought the bosses were a bunch of fucking cunts, and they're gonna burn the fucking hell, alright? And they knew I fucking hated them. I'd fucking tell them almost with my... I would show it to them. Those guys were corrupt as fuck, right? So fucking corrupt. And I hated them. I absolutely hated them. They never, they never gave me training when I asked for it. They'd give me tons of complex shit to fucking fix and deal with. But when I asked for training, they wouldn't give it to me. Why wouldn't they give it to me? Well, it's because they didn't want me to leave. That's why. They wanted to keep me there. I had some of the hardest work in the office. I was a network engineer, third line, servers, infrastructure. I was involved with all kinds of stuff, okay? Like a very broad range of very technical things to deal with. And I didn't even, it was, by the time at the end, I wasn't even doing anything. I just had a gigantic pile of work sitting in front of me, and I refused to do any of it. I would sit at my computer trading Bitcoin instead. And then I'm like, I'm fucking out of here. And right after, before I left, I won about $5,000 betting, and then after I left, I won about another, probably about 12 grand betting as well on politics. Okay, I'm not mentioning exactly. Well, it was, yeah, I bet on Brexit and I bet on Donald Trump winning the 2016 election. I bet 1.5 grand on Brexit, and I bet 2.5 grand on Donald Trump, and I got really good odds from Betfair Exchange. Okay, so I made a lot of money from that, and I was trading Bitcoin, and I had bank loans and all sorts of shit. Okay, credit cards, gold and silver. Yeah, I was out of work for 3 years. Okay, because I left. I hated people so much. I didn't want to be in an office anymore. But anyways, evil people who have no morals, can't trust anybody, bunch of backstabbing shitheads. So yeah, that's the truth. But then again, I was working for, I was working for the NHS, wasn't I? That's right, public sector. The public. Well, that's the thing. Well, the government. You know what I mean? It's a magnet for lefties. Yeah. So surrounded by very left-wing people, the vast majority of them. And that was the thing about Toby and Ryan. Very left-wing, very socialist. I would say communist in nature, right? They are communist. They have the communist mindset. Okay. It's fucking hilarious though, isn't it? I mean, Labour government wins the election and everyone fucking hates them, right? Everyone's thinking, what a terrible fucking piece of shit. They can't do anything right. What the communists got to say about that? I mean, at the end of the day, I'm God. I'm trying to destroy everybody. So, yeah, I'm winning here. You know what I mean? The more misery and pain and suffering is inflicted on people, the better for me. Yeah, I don't go to work. I stay at home. I just record videos every day and post stuff on social media and smoke cigarettes. Anyway, I suppose Toby's become my name, has it? Toby. It's interesting, right? Because the word bye-bye, yeah? Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Toby. Well, that's the thing, to, bye, yeah? To, bye. Bye-bye. 1, 2. Bye-bye, Toby. Bye-bye, Toby. Yeah, you see how that works? Magic words. So, and that's the other thing, I said gay ass Toby. Well, that's the thing, right? Because I said the to is associated with the but. And you know what bisexual means, right? To, bi, Toby. Yeah, gay ass Toby. So if you have a gay ass, well, you're a your ass is called Toby. Toby. what is a gay ass? Well, it's, you know, a straight man who has a gay ass. Or, you know, basically that's what it means. Yeah. So it's like his ass has got a mind of its own. Toby. So, yeah. So this is the thing. You know, Toby was the gossiper. And, you know, he got promoted to my team on the third line infrastructure support. And it was about the time a guy called Neil Worrell, he got his promotion to the project. He was doing project management. He was involved with projects. So he went from client devices, so that's second line, and he jumped to the project manager's table. And so that meant he was going all around the hospital, going to all kinds of closed off areas, and this is when he was having an affair, right? He was cheating on his wife, yeah, with a woman called Clara. A real bitch. Fucking ugly bitch as well, last time I checked. She's like pretty old these days. And she's not pretty. And she's a real bitch. Anyways. Yeah, that woman was driving me fucking crazy for years. I mean, I was going through a situation in my life where I didn't want anything to do with women. I literally didn't want to have sex with a woman. I didn't want to talk to, you know, I just wanted to do my job, right? I just wanted to be professional. I wanted to get my job done. I wanted to get promoted. I wanted to make more money, right? I wanted to succeed at work. I wasn't interested in getting in any kind of relationship with any woman. But that's the thing. Women, they're demon bitches everywhere. And they want to flirt with me. Not because they're interested in me, of course. They want to flirt with me because they want to know that I like them. Because they're narcissists. They're energy vampires. They want to know that I'm invested in them, that I think they're great, they're beautiful, that, you know, I worship the ground that they walk on. You know, that's the kind of bitches that I'm talking about, right? And I'm like, no. And the thing with Clara was that I felt like that's what she was doing to me. So I started to be a dickhead to her, right? I started treating her like shit. I started being I reversed the energy vampire thing on her. And what happened was, you know, I saw her like moping about, and she didn't look very happy. And the next thing, she starts fucking the guy from my office called Neil Worrell. So she's having an affair with that guy, right? And that's the thing, you know. Everyone thought I was a pushover until this happened, right? Because when that happened, I scared the shit. That's the thing. Neil was terrified that I was gonna fucking tell his wife. He was terrified. I mean, that's the thing, right? Because I started pushing their buttons as soon as I knew they were having an affair. I started to, do you know what I mean? I started to make them really worried about what they were doing. I didn't do it. I didn't tell his wife. I just made them think that I probably would. Just to fucking drive them crazy, right? And believe me, I faced a lot of hostility because of it. We're talking an entire office every single day, all watching me. They're talking about me behind my back. They're spying on me, watching me. You know, they want to know where I'm going. They want to know when I go out for lunch, when I go out for a cigarette, or where I'm going to go do work around the hospital. You know, they want to know where I'm going. They're all keeping tabs on me. Everyone's talking about me. I'm going to other departments. They fucking know about me. They fucking know what's going on. All kinds of shit. That's how fucking crazy it was. I mean, that's the thing. I had access. I was the Wi-Fi guy, right? So, you know, all the wireless access points all around the hospitals. This isn't just one hospital, but, you know, it's multiple hospitals. you know, I've got heat maps. You know, I can track where people are. Right, if they're connected to the Wi-Fi, I can see where you fucking are. Do you know what I mean? In a hospital. You know what I mean? I had all sorts of connect. You know what I mean? I could fucking make things print off on the printer next to you. I could do all sorts of stuff like that, right? I can make fucking messages appear out of a fucking printer what you're standing next to, and fucking do all sorts of shit like that, right? I mean, I was an IT guy, so that's what I did. In fact, I did that to Clara once, actually. I saw what she'd been printing off on her local printer, and I remember I sent something through a printer, and it was untraceable. They thought it was me, but they couldn't prove it was me. That's the funniest thing, right? But anyways, you know, I was doing some sneaky. I was doing some stuff. Anyways, I don't work in IT anymore. Anyway, I have a big computer though. Yeah, well, yeah, whatever. I mean, I'm sat in front of a computer all day, every day. There you go. Yeah. So, what else can I say? About Toby and Ryan Daly. Isn't it interesting? They both have the word day in their surnames. You know, Toby Gill Day and Ryan Daly. You know, where does the sun shineth? Huh? Where is it coming from? Where's the sun then? Huh? Who's God? Who's the light of the world? Tell you what, it's not fucking them. It's not them. They wish it was them. Yeah, they do. They really do. So that's the thing, where I used to smoke with them, because they were both smokers back then. I don't know if they smoke anymore. Probably vape. They probably vape, I would have think, probably, but and smoke weed, probably. Yeah, it's an interesting pair of guys, because, you know, you got the short guy, Ryan. He's like an angry little chihuahua that, you know, he wants to get all in your face and annoy you, and he wants to get, you know, lots of people eating out the palm of his hand, so he's got people who fucking protect him and all sorts of shit like that. And then, you know, there's Toby Gilday, who's a big softy. I mean, 6'7" soft guy, right? I mean, like, he's not the kind of guy you would think gets in a fight with anybody, actually. But he just happens to be a very tall guy. And, you know, he wants to hang around with the angry little chihuahua guy who thinks he's Mr. Tough Guy. It's fucking hilarious. I mean, do you know what I mean? Like, the guy who literally weighed half as much as I do. And he wanted to get in my face all the time. And it's like, well, the only reason I didn't do anything was, you know what I mean? Like, first, I don't want to lose my job, and I don't want to go to prison either. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I didn't start this fucking fight, but they did. But anyway. Anyway, what else can I say? That's the thing, I used to smoke with Toby, right? I smoked with Toby. So what happened when I smoked with Toby? Well, that's the thing. Demons were trying to steal my power and give it to Toby Gilday, right? That's the thing. You know, it's my fire. It's my magic, right? That I'm doing. I'm God. I'm the Red Dragon. I'm Satan. I'm the destroyer of this world, this evil world. Yeah. And demons who know I'm going to destroy them, well, guess what they try to do? They try to destroy me as well. Yeah. It's a war. And Ryan and Toby, well, you know, they're useful idiots. Yeah, that's what they are. You understand? So then, who's Toby? Well, that's the thing. Everyone has to buy something, don't they? I always remember the time I called Toby. I called him Toblerone. I've never seen him so angry at me. How weird is that, right? I call him Toblerone. I mean, just just as a joke, right? I mean, I wasn't trying to be nasty. I wasn't trying to be, do you know what I mean? I was just actually just trying to be friendly, actually. And I called him Toblerone, you know? I never heard anyone call him Toblerone before. I just called him Toblerone, you know? And he took it very badly. Why would that be? Well, you know what a throne is, right? You know what a throne is? Well, if you don't know how to say you'd say trone. And trone was Tron. Well, it's in Toblerone. It's an interesting thing, Toblerone, isn't it? I mean, it's shaped almost like a pyramid. You know? You know, those things they have in Egypt. I was never really a fan of Toblerone bars, really, when I was a kid. It's okay, actually. As I've grown up, I've sort of liked the taste of it, but... yeah, when I was a kid, I was never really a fan of Toblerone. Why, I don't know. Well, it's because of magic, right? Because it's a magic, you know what I mean? Like, it's the same reason why I never liked salad when I was a kid. You know, people have salad, they put vinaigrette on it. Well, that's the thing. My surname is Salvin. You know, there's all kinds of reasons, all kinds of curses that people try to do against me. And it makes my life a bit crazy. You know, people have made me suffer with their witchcraft that they've done against me. Their curses, their lies, their shit talking behind my back. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, right? You know, I said gay ass Toby. Well, that's the thing I've explained before, I have a gay ass, right? You know, in the Bible it says, for a man to lie with another man, it's an abomination. And then it talks about the abomination of desolation. Well, the abomination causes destruction. And that's me. I'm God. I am the one who desolates, okay? I'm Satan. I'm God. I'm God, very pissed off. Very angry. And I'm justified. Yeah, I'm Satan. I'm justified, Satan. Yeah. The world deserves to be destroyed. Yeah. Anyways, I made the point that I used to smoke with Toby. And who knows, maybe I even bought him something once. Maybe I went to buy him something, you know, maybe a pint of lager or a pint of ale. Or maybe he bought me a drink, you know. It's quite possible, yeah. Well, that's the thing, you know, we do rounds. You know, we go to the pub, we pay for rounds sometimes. Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, it's quite possible that happened as well. And obviously my name is Grant. So, you know, every time that I make an exchange with somebody, there's always a demon lurking there, trying to steal my name. Yeah? Trying to steal my power. And trying to use a useful idiot. Anyways. Fucking hell. Cough so hard I fart. Fucking hell. So, I mean, that's the thing. When that guy Neil was having an affair at work, of course, everyone would deny it. Everyone was denying it. I mean, I knew it was happening, but everyone was saying, no, Grant, you're just imagining it. You're crazy. Yeah. All the time. It's like, I know. I'm not stupid. I can see it from a mile away. Yeah, I mean, I think he might have got that woman pregnant and she had an abortion. Because I remember one day he came into work and he was, you know, when, you've been, if you've ever cried a lot, let's say you've cried for hours and hours and hours, it can really, it changes the sound of your throat and your lungs. So when you breathe and when you laugh, it can really deepen your voice for like a day or two, right? Because you've cried so much. And he came into work one day, and his voice, you could tell by the sound of his voice that he'd gone through that. And I went through that. That happened to me as well at that time, because strangely enough, right? Well, God, everyone's trying to copy me, right? It's always, everyone reflects me, right? Everyone's trying to battle for my energy. How do I explain this? I mean, that's the thing. Imagine having to go to work every day and everyone's your enemy. Everyone's trying to ruin your life. Everyone's trying to make you miserable. Everyone's trying to stick their foot out in front of you to trip you over. That kind of thing. Yeah. Surrounded by, imagine like a lion, and it's surrounded by 100 hyenas, It's kind of a situation I was in, right? I played that situation strategically. So, do you know what I mean? Like, people were thinking they would get away with stuff, thinking they could push me around, but I had them by the balls at that point, and they really didn't like that. And so I did that for, 6 months, several months, and then I handed my notice in, and I said, that's it, I'm out of there. There was actually another situation, because the boss of the office, Gary Steen, he was the, what was his title? He was the director of IT, I think. Guy, he's a contractor getting paid about £250,000 a year. What an asshole. But his daughter works at the hospital, right? Her name, Rebecca. I was going to the pub after work one day. I think I was going to the pub, or I was going home one day, and I saw her at the bus stop, and I just stared her in the eyes, and I stared her down. We were staring at each other, and then the next thing she looked down on the ground, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Well, the reason I did it was because, I didn't even know her. I never spoken to her before, ever. I never spoke to her, not even once. This is why the story is so funny, right? It's so crazy. This was with all the things that were going on in the office, and I was mad. I was furious with everybody about what was going on. And, and that's the thing, Gary was, that's the thing, he was hiding the affair that Neil was having with Clara. And he's my boss. So I saw his daughter, and I did this to her. I stared her in the eyes. And, in almost an intimidating way. Right? In an intimidating way, basically, right? And the next thing I knew, right, basically I went home, right? And I fasted for like a week. So I lost quite a lot of weight. And I came back to work looking a lot tidier than usual. And his daughter saw me, Rebecca, she saw me, and she she saw me and she just went like some like wild little girl. Like she was all smiley and stuff. And then the next thing I know, I'm sitting in my office chair in the office where her dad is, right? And the funny thing was, right, I can't remember what happened, right? I can't remember what happened. Oh, what happened? Oh, this is such a strange story. She called the office, right? And then someone said, I think someone must have said to Gary, or she called her dad in the office, right? Because she wanted to come round and meet me, right? She wanted an excuse to come into the office to see me, to say hello. And I'm sitting in my chair, and her dad ran away, right? Her dad fucking ran off. He didn't want to be there, right? This is the funniest fucking story. From me anyway. She called her dad, so she obviously wanted to come to the office to say hello to me, right? Because, well, that's the thing, you know, what I did to her, basically, you know, I don't know, some women respond to being intimidated, I suppose. I don't know, all I did was stare. I just stared her in the eyes. That's all I did. I never even spoke to her. And she came into the office, and her dad ran away, right? He's like, fuck this. He fucking went off, right? And she was standing at the end of the row of desks, and she just kept looking at me like, you know, she's like trying to catch my attention. And I looked out the corner of my eye like this, like, and I just, you know, just carried on typing, just keep going. And I ignored her, right? Totally ignored her. And I had to go to a meeting in one of the meeting rooms, and I literally just got up, picked up my laptop, and I walked straight past her without saying anything. Went to the meeting room. And she was very disappointed, right? And I think there might be there was another time. Yeah, so she was very upset about it, right? She was very unhappy about it. And her dad came into me, right? My boss. And he just he didn't say anything either. He fucking just looked like his face was starting to just go like he wanted to fucking break my neck. And I went, whoa, whoa, whoa. So I was like, calm down, calm down. That's the funniest shit ever. Because, I mean, you know, all the guys in the office used to mock me, right? They always used to make fun of me for all kinds of reasons, right? You know, maybe it's because, you know, they think I'm ugly, or I look like I'm 12, or they think I stink, or whatever it is, right? You know, always probably saying shit like, oh, you'll never get a girlfriend, or whatever, right? But, you know, I did this one little thing, right, to my boss's daughter. I basically just looked her in the eyes, and I just caused so much fucking chaos. It's a funny story though, isn't it? Well, after, you know, considering how bad those people, I mean, that's the thing, he was corrupt as fuck. Do you know what I mean? Like, everyone used to talk about how corrupt her dad was. You know, he's one of these guys doing backroom deals with people, you know, buying dodgy equipment, overpaying for things and pocketing the difference and all kinds of shit, right? I mean, that's the kind of guy he is, alright? The problem is that the NHS is full of so many corrupt people. So when people get investigated, the investigation gets stopped all of a sudden. And it's like, nah, you're alright, don't worry about it. Yeah, that's how the NHS works. And people wonder where all the fucking money goes. You know, I was working, you know, I had a very tough job. I had a very tough job, and I was getting paid, what, 25 grand a year? 24 grand a year? To you know what I mean? That was a very difficult job, and I was getting paid a pittance for it, and they wouldn't even give me training. I mean, that's how fucking bad it was. They'd give training to guys who were totally fucking useless, so, you know, guys who were fucking, total fucking idiots. But you know, they were good at brown nosing, so they'd be like, yeah, you can have some useless training that you'll never use, and then we'll give you a promotion to some completely different job, and then we'll give you some more training. But for me, they wouldn't give me anything, nothing. I did all my own training. Alright, I would do my own training, and I'd wing it most of the time. Right, I'd figure it out as I went along. And the thing was, because the department was always so busy, the guys who were working on with me on my team, if I ever needed help from them, the answer was usually, no, too busy, no, too busy, no, too busy, no, too busy. So, you know, a lot of the time. So, you know, that's the NHS for you. Working for the IT department for the NHS, I don't recommend it. I really don't. It's not worth it. Unless you do it for maybe like a year or something, but I wouldn't do it any longer than that. I was there for several years. So, yeah. At least 5. Well, I've worked in different locations for the NHS. But anyway. Yeah. So there's my story about Toby. And Ryan, and Gary, and his daughter, and Neil, and Clara. Yeah. You know, and ever since then, I took 3 years off, right? So I did my Bitcoin trading, and well, I'm God, and the world is trying to destroy me, so that didn't go very well. Back then, you know, I lost my money. Back then. Now though, yeah, I mean, I'm on my way to £1 million, so I'm doing okay. But after those 3 years, you know, I decided to be a van driver, and I did that for a year and a half, basically. I had a 6-month break in between. I did 6 months working the job, and that's when the COVID pandemic started, right when I first started that job. And then I took a 6-month break because of the COVID pandemic, and then I went back for 6 months. And at the end of that 6 months, my mum dropped dead from cancer, and I took all her money. Yeah, interesting story, huh? Isn't it interesting? You know, it says smoking causes cancer, right? Well, that's the thing, I'm good. I'm good. Of course I cause cancer. What the fuck do you think? Stupid cunt. Who else would cause it, do you think? Eh? Bye bye. Bye bye. Dubai. Dubai. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, it was the number one destination to live in the world. Oh, that's right. Dubai, apparently. You know, it's an Islamic country. Yeah. Yeah. Dubai. Dubai. Well, you know, in French, how do you say two? You say deux, un, deux, trois, quatre, cinq, six, sept, neuf, huit. Yeah, something, whatever the fuck, right? I'm not French. Well, actually, I do actually have some French blood in me, I think. But, yeah, well, my surname, I think, yeah, it came across from Normandy. Came with, yeah, I already explained that in my previous videos, so. But anyways, hopefully you get the point. Dubai. I was thinking about moving there, actually. I hear their Bitcoin taxes are very low. I think, in fact, they don't have any Bitcoin taxes. I mean, I could very easily sell everything I have and just bugger off to Dubai and go lie in the sun every day. I've thought about it, but to be quite honest, yeah, well, it's an option. I might do. I'll see how I feel about it. Might change my mind. I think there's a guy from when I worked at the NHS. I think there was a guy, he went to Dubai actually. A guy called Paul Marshall. He was a real piece of shit, that guy. Fucking hell. Very narcissistic, very, and you know, he was promoted to team leader, alright, and everyone used to complain about the guy. Yeah, there were so many people complaining about him. You know, he's rude, nasty, and stupid, making dumb mistakes. And then he fucked off to Dubai. Yeah. And he basically got a promotion in the office, and you know, he wasn't doing very good at it, and then he basically just fucked off somewhere else. You know what I mean? You know, did a bit of brown nosing, got his, you know, his bullshit training that was totally fucking worthless, did his shit job for 6 months, and then he fucking puts it on his CV and fucking runs off somewhere else. Yeah, that's the typical NHS employee, by the way. Do you know what I mean? They're always looking for sneaky ways to get a leg up, and then, you know, trying to use it to their advantage to fuck off. All I wanted was training. Yeah, I wanted to become very knowledgeable. You know, I wanted to be very good at my job, and they wouldn't let me become better than I was. They thought I was good enough for what they wanted. You know, I was good enough for what they wanted to pay me, and they wanted to keep me doing what I was doing. You know, they were trying to keep me on a leash, is what they were trying to do. It's interesting actually, because before I left, I did some job interviews, because I was a band 5, and I did an interview for a band 7, which, well, no, I was invited to do an interview for a band 7, because the guy who was doing the interview, he was wanting to give it to me. I knew that already, but I didn't fill in the application in time. And then I went for the band 6 interview with the guy I was sitting next to, called Philip Damien Grint, who's a very technical guy. He used to work for Goldman Sachs, actually, once upon a time. Network engineer. And Gary Steen, my boss, right? Went for the interview, and I said, I'll do the job, but I only want to work 4 days a week. And his head fucking exploded when I said that. He's like, what? I was like, yeah, it's for my mental health. I can't stand this place. I mean, I could do it 4 days a week, but I can't do it 5 days a week anymore. Fuck that. Basically. So it was a deal breaker. It was like, you know, if I'm not going to do 5 days a week, then, you know, it's a no-go. I was like, okay then, well, fuck it, I don't care then. Bye. I was very cheeky about it. You know, I always turn up to work 15 minutes late every day. Some days I'll come in half an hour late. You know, and I'd never get a talent offer, ever. You know, I wouldn't. I would take extended breaks. I would, you know, I'd go out for a cigarette. I'd probably have 2 cigarettes. I'd take probably 5 minutes longer than I'm supposed to. All that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? In fact, there were sometimes I'll go for lunch and I just go home. Or I just go down the pub and never come back. Do you know what I mean? Some days. You know, there were a couple of times I did that, actually, because I just refused to go back to work. I mean, it got so bad at the end. It was so stressful at work that I literally couldn't do anything. I would come in for 4 hours in the morning, and I'd be so full of, I was so angry and stressed that I couldn't do anything. And then I'd go for lunch, and I'd have a large drink of alcohol, and then I'd come back, and then I'd just get loads of work done. It was the only way I could get any work done, was literally drinking on the job. I mean, that's how fucking bad it was. Yeah, what story, huh? So this is why, you know, I've said in previous videos, I said I will never, ever work with other people like that ever again. Ever. I'm God. I am insulted by the idea that I would have to work with people like that. And quite honestly, people who treat me like that, who treated me like that, wow, what do you think God wants to do with them, do you think? Oh yeah. Well, we'll find out, won't we? Yeah, I could probably, yeah, well, that's the thing, you know. What would I like to do with them? Well, I probably couldn't mention it in this video, could I? Yeah, I probably couldn't. But we'll find out anyway. Yeah. Come on, let's have a rollie for a change. Ooh, it's my first rollie of the day, I think. Well, it's still quite, yeah, it's 5:13 in the morning. It's a bit, yeah, anyways. Ryanair. Oh yeah, Ryanair, you know. I don't think I've ever flown Ryanair, actually. Well, you know what it says in the Bible. It talks about the prince of the power of the air. You know, it's a way of saying Satan, basically, the devil. Yeah, Ryanair. Yeah, I see. You know Rihanna, right? You see how ASAP Rocky, her boyfriend, he's on trial at the moment. Yeah, for shooting his gun, shooting his Glock. It's really interesting actually, because the car I've got, my Jaguar F-Type R, the word Glock is on the license plate. I mean, I didn't choose it. It was what was generated by, you know, it was what was given to me by the dealership. It's got a G, it's got an L, it's got 0, and it's got K in it as well. So it kind of spells the word Glock, which is just quite weird, huh? But anyway, Ryanair. Yeah. I've never flown Ryanair. I've always heard, yeah, I've heard very bad things about it. You know, I've heard a lot of complaints about it. I've flown EasyJet. I flew with Aer Lingus. They're an Irish. That's interesting, actually. Aer Lingus. Yeah. I flew to Poland on an Aer Lingus flight. That's how I got there and back, I think. British Airways and whatever, you know, I've flown on different airlines, but I mean, the thing is, it's kind of important, you know, because that's the thing, right? You know, in the book of Revelation, it talks about God's throne in heaven. You know, a throne is a seat, right? And it's up in the sky. Yeah. You know, and I said to people, I said, those who love me, right? Those who love me and love my Father, well, me, yeah. That's why when I was Jesus, this is what I said to people. I said, I will invite you to come and sit on my throne with my Father, right? You know, something, words to that effect, right? And that's the thing, right? Because, you know, whenever I've gone on an airplane, I've had my seat in the sky, and obviously someone was sitting there before me and someone was sitting there after me. You understand? It's witchcraft. Well, that's the thing. Demons use that to their advantage to attack me because I'm God. You know, they want to pretend that they got my throne. Yeah, but they don't. I mean, I'm God. My throne is my arse. Yeah, that's my throne. Yeah, the universe is magically connected with my butthole. Okay, and my butt is my throne. My arsehole. My gay ass. My 2x. Yeah? My rainbow butt. Well, what happens, you know? That's the thing, right? You have light, like white light, and then you split it. Well, that's the thing, because I split my anus. So that's the thing, right? It's split light. Split light is rainbow. Yeah, you understand? It's a magic thing. You know, I'm telling the truth. I don't have to feel embarrassed about it. I'm God. And those who mock me, those who insult me, die. You understand? That's how it is. That's literally what it says in the Bible. Yeah? It says those who insult the Holy Spirit. But that's the thing. It's my hole. Yeah? My butt is my hole. You understand? Those who insult the Holy Spirit, well, there will be no forgiveness. I'm God. I'm the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. I'm God. I'm all three of them. The thing is that the way things were written, well, it's because I'm having a magic war with demons all the time. And that war is fought with words. Okay? So the words I speak, they matter. How I do things, it matters. Yeah? You know, and that's the thing, you know, the word matter, well, you know what I mean? That's the thing, right? What does matter mean? You know, what is matter? You know, in Latin, matter means mother. You know, it's very easy to twist what I'm saying if you're a demon, right? You know, if you're a demon, you'll happily try to twist everything I say. That's what demons do. You know? You know, the story of the Tower of Babel. You know, man wanted to make a tower all the way to heaven. And I said, no, I'll destroy that. I destroy you. I'm God. That's how it goes. I mean, that's the thing, right, about the second beast of the book of Revelation. It talks about the beast causes fire to come down from heaven in the sight of men, but he deceived the inhabitants of the earth by the means which he did those signs, right? And he caused all people, you know, great and poor and rich and poor and all kinds of people, right, to receive the mark of the beast. You know, and unless they had that mark, they were unable to buy. You know, they were unable to buy or sell unless they had the mark of the beast. Yeah. To buy. Toby. I mean, he's, you know, I think of Toby and I just think, you know, when, you know, such a brown noser, such a gossiper, you know, wants to be friends with everybody, wants to have, I mean, he's the kind of guy who will make friends with people he doesn't even like. Because he wants to know all their secrets, he wants to talk to them, he wants to figure out. And he's the kind of person he wants to talk to everybody so he can find out all the information and then he can gossip, 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 you know, and he plays people like that, right? You know, he was always, you know, that's the thing, like people in the office used to treat him like the go-to guy to get any information. You know, he was the information guy. And it's interesting because we used to work in information technology, didn't we? IT, information technology. And there's Toby trying to be the fucking biggest gossiper that ever fucking existed. Gossip, 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 backstabbing little weasel shithead. Yeah. Well, he's 6'7", but piece of shit anyway. Alright. Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting, you know, he came from a home, his parents were, I think both his parents were disabled. Like wheelchair bound and stuff like that, yeah. Yeah. So, who cares anyway? Whatever. Who gives a shit? I don't. You know, that's the thing, right? You know, that's the problem with this world. You know, I've isolated myself from everybody because everybody's evil. But then there's someone like Toby who wants to be acquainted with everybody. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, you know, people want friends, they want girlfriends and boyfriends and status, they want to be well known, they want to be liked by everybody. Yeah? That's the path to destruction. That is the path to destruction. That has been explained. The world is evil. Are you a people? Are you know, that's the thing. You want to be a pleaser of people. You don't want to please God. You want to please people. And that's how most people fail. Actually, I would say. People don't have what it takes to stand on their own 2 feet by themselves. They need other people. Because without those other people, they would just crumble. Wouldn't they? They're nothing on their own, and they know it. I don't know anyone I can count on. I don't know anyone who would stand up for me. Anybody. Nobody. Not a single person. I couldn't tell you the name of a person I could trust to ever help me. But I do stand up for myself. And I have done. And people know that. And it felt good, even though it was horrible and nasty, and I had to deal with a lot of horrible situations and horrible feelings, you know, stress and anger and rage. You know, it caused me to feel suicidal, actually. But the fact that I stood up for myself, you know, and I let people know that I wasn't going to put up with it. And that I was very unhappy with them. And I didn't like them. It felt good. It felt good to do that. It really did. I needed to. I had to do it. I felt compelled to do it. I mean, you know, if you're backed into a corner for so long, eventually, you know, everyone snaps. eventually. Even me. Right? I mean, you know, and I stood up for what I believed in, you know. I thought I saw a bunch of evil, immoral, shit-headed people, and I had to tell the truth. I had to tell people what I thought of them. That's what I did. And I still do. And I still will. I mean, why shouldn't I? Anyways, have I said enough in this video? Perhaps. Perhaps. Once I start talking, it's hard to stop. I think I've said what I wanted to say, really. I mean, what else can I really say? Yeah, it's really interesting because, you know, Ryan, he was very popular with the girls. I mean, he's very young. I would say he's short, so he's like 5'7", skinny, very skinny. Where, you know, he used to wear very tight-fitting jeans. It's interesting actually because back then, you know when that became a fashion style, it became popular. You know, the tight jeans, the real skinny fit jeans. Well, that's the thing. I always used to. I never bought skinny fit jeans really, but my work, you know, my clothes, because I always used to put them in the dryer for too long, they would always shrink, and so it would get really like tight. So all my clothes looked really tight on me, and then the skinny jeans thing became a fashion, right? It became very fashionable, and I still don't buy them, but I still shrink my clothes, strangely enough. I try not to, but anyway. That's the thing, you know, he was, Ryan was, you know, he was into punk music, you know. If you go to the park or something like that, you know he's bringing his guitar with him. You know, he's got to bring his guitar, you know, and he's got to play his guitar for everybody, and, you know, he's very, yeah, you know, he's all about getting, pussy. That's what he's all about, right? Very, very arrogant, very, very cocky. You know, he's the kind of guy, you know, he will sit there and he will talk shit out of his mouth all day long, non-stop, laughing at his own jokes that don't make any sense. You know, he will basically just say anything and then just laugh afterwards, and then, you know, expect other people to laugh along with him, because he thinks whatever crap came out of his mouth sounded funny. And I just sit there like, what was the punchline? Like, I totally missed it. You know, just like terrible humor, but because people wanted to be on his side so much, because they didn't want. That's the thing, right? He was such a shit talker, and you know, he was like an angry little chihuahua that no one wanted to fight with, right? So people would laugh at his jokes to make, you know, because they wanted. That's the thing, you know, he was trying to get everyone. That's the thing, people would eat out the palm of his fucking hand. Yeah. So he's got Crohn's disease. So, you know, I think he has to do like enemas and stuff like that. You know, he has Crohn's disease. It's a disease of the gut. So he used to get like a real painful gut thing. He used to live across the road from the hospital because he couldn't live very far away from where he lives at home. Strange. Anyway. Well, that's the thing, you know, why has he got Crohn's disease? You know, well, he fucking deserves it, for a start. You know, that's the truth. You know, he's cursed. He's a little witch boy. And this is the thing, you know, like, we'd go, you know, I remember times, you know, I'd go to the pub with him, like, a couple of days in a row, and he would literally be with a different girl on each, you know, I saw him with one girl one night, and then the next night he's with another girl, and then the next night he's with another girl, and they'd just be smooching. And, yeah, I don't know, I mean, he was very good at getting women into bed, but he never seemed to keep them round for very long, so... Yeah, he always seemed to be playing that game, I think. It was like, you know, like, he would get with, I mean, there was one long-term girlfriend he had, but she got gingivitis, so they separated because she got gingivitis. Her name was, what was her name again? Oh, what was her name again? Aisha, that was her name. She was actually a really pretty girl, actually. Shame she got gingivitis though. Total bitch. But yeah, there we go. Okay. I mean, you know, when I say pretty, yeah, she was actually really pretty. I won't deny that, but yeah, it's funny actually because Ryan's friend, he was some real hippie guy, right? Some like proper, he came from a real hippie family, and they went to some like, I don't know, some Hindu or Buddhist retreat somewhere, right, for their hippie holiday, and the guy almost died. He was like swinging on like a fucking tree, right? It was a tree that had fallen over, and it was like a big log that was like, it was like, I don't know, at a weird angle, right? So he was swinging on this gigantic log, thinking it wouldn't fall down, right? And this massive fucking tree just fell on top of him and fucking like crushed his chest, and he almost died. And he lived, you know, he managed to survive, this hippie piece of shit that he was. And he got with Aisha when she got gingivitis, I think. So I think he got with her. I don't know, maybe he gave her, I don't know. But anyway, that's the story, right? Just random shit I remember, right, from back in the day. Aisha. Anyways, is there anything else I'd like to mention, Mohammed? I mean, oh no, so Gary Steen, he wasn't the director of IT, he was the second in line boss, right? He was the contractor that used to work under the director of IT. The director of IT, you know, and you would see him maybe like once a week, or maybe twice a week or something like that. Ian Arbuthnot. Yeah, what a clown that guy was. Ian Arbuthnot. What a fucking weird name, huh? What a witchy fucking name that is. Piece of shit. Yeah. Corrupt as fuck. Yeah, all about the money. I'm not joking, right? Because what the hospital I used to work at, they used to have all bike thieves, right? So people always used to get their bikes stolen around the hospital. So I never ever rode a bike to work. I mean, I took my bike to work maybe once, but yeah, I mean, that's the thing. And that's the thing, right? Because I actually knew guys who were criminals, right? I actually knew guys outside of work who were involved with criminal activity, right? And they always used to have parties, and you know, you'd have the spearmint rhino dances at their parties and all kinds of shit like that. And I used to DJ at parties as well, right? It was my DJ equipment. And I noticed that some of the people that worked in the chief executive's office at the hospital were actually at the parties I was at, and I knew one or two of them were involved with some stealing bikes, and I even saw them at the hospital as well, which is fucking funny. Yeah, how funny is that? What a fucking weird coincidence. I get to see all this fucking crazy shit happening. That's the thing. The people are so corrupt. That's the thing. You know what I mean? They're always doing backroom deals. That's the thing. They put corrupt people in these high positions of power in the hospital, and then what do? They use it to their advantage to fucking get more money here, do criminal activity, fucking cover up each other's crimes. Yeah, that's what they do. That's that's how left-wing socialists behave. Okay, that's why the government's so fucking corrupt, right? Everywhere that's got every government institution, right, is like that, basically, because that's what lefties do. People with no morals. These are the people who, what kind of morals do they have? Well, they don't love God, do they? They hate God. They're pro-abortion, they're pro, fornication, pro being a hoe, and all kinds of shit like that. Theft. Well, yeah, look, it's really sickening. They're the real shitty people I would rather not have anything to do with. Okay? The only reason I ever worked at the NHS is because I wanted a career. And I thought it was the way, I thought I better stick it out and do it as long as I can. But they wanted to make things difficult for me. And I made things difficult for them. And we parted ways. That's how it went. Okay? So, I think I'm quite happy with this video. Yeah, I think I. So, yeah, I'll leave it there.